Well, hello, celebrity gossip enthusiasts. I'm Us Weekly's entertainment director, Travis Cronin, and you're tuned into Us Weekly's Hot Hollywood podcast, the show where we break down all of the hottest celebrity gossip stories of the week, the wild, the weird, the wacky, really just anything we find, conversation worthy. And since I'm not screaming into the abyss, I am joined by my two lovely co-hosts. Oh my God, it's an arbiter of Gwen and style, of style and beauty. Miss Gwen Flamberg is on the mic.
I'm also an arbiter of Gwen. It's true. My entire life, I've been an arbiter of all Gwens. Thank you, Travis. And hi, guys. It is great to be here.
And arbiter of celebrity memoirs, legalese, The Bachelor, Tori Spelling, lots of niche Jessica Simpson knowledge, and a whole bunch of other stuff that, we really value on this podcast. So welcome, Deputy Baby Woman Sarah Huron.
Thank you for listing my list of things I am capable of speaking about. I know it's limited, but it is valued on this podcast and at this job. Coming at you live on my mother's birthday, but more importantly, the eve of Jen Shah reporting to prison. Just kidding. Happy birthday, Mom.
I know. Can't you feel Jen Shah's yelling at people right now before she goes away to prison, planning her outfit?
She got 2 tattoos yesterday.
Jeez.
Oh, pre-prison tattoos.
Yes, pre-prison tat. Dedications to her son and her sons and her husband. And maybe she should have, not committed crimes as a move for them. But the tattoos are nice, I guess.
Well, hindsight's always 2020,
isn't it?
Yeah, I like a pre-prison tattoo as a celebrity trend before going to jail. I think we could really see that catch on, Jen Shah. Thank you for that. Well, we have lots of celebrity news, as we always do, because they're always doing stuff. That's why we're still employed. But before we get into all of it, let us start off with the woes of the week, the stories that just stuck out a little extra special to our co-hosts. Gwen Flamberg, what made you go woe this week?
Oh, gosh, guys. It's right around the time of the month when the monthly magazines do their drops, their monthly drop of the new issue. And it's been a really big week, guys. First, Gigi Hadid on the cover of Elle. Then the Vanity Fair Hollywood issue was dropped. It was all gorgeous, young Hollywood, really cute. But then the smelling salts were needed because into my inbox came the drop from British Vogue, which had, oh my God, on the heels of the Super Bowl, Rihanna with A$AP Rocky and her baby boy, who's about a year old. And I mean, we haven't really seen much of him until now. They've kept him very private. Well, there he is on the cover of a magazine in the inside spread. This baby is like the most delicious baby I maybe have ever seen. Rihanna looked awesome. She said that something that I thought was really funny. She was talking about the baby and baby fashion. And she said that, baby fashion and kids fashion is like really lame. So I have a feeling from Fenty, we're going to start seeing maybe some baby fashions coming. The favorite thing she has ever seen her infant son in is what British Vogue put him in, which was a Chrome Hearts leather diaper cover. Which, guys, I think every baby needs at some point in their life. Forget that it's, I'm sure, thousands of dollars, but just really adorable. And I love seeing Rihanna as part of a family unit, especially now that, she dropped that bomb when she was up on that skinny piece of glass at the Super Bowl.
I always, like Sonia Morgan, wear my Chrome Hearts leather baby diaper harness on long trips just because I think it's the right thing to do, especially on buses. Thank you, Sonia Morgan. I'm just kidding. I do not do that. No, the editorial was so gorgeous. And that baby, you're right, is so adorable. She got a lot of flack for calling her baby Fwine online, like a fine baby. I mean, she's in love with her son. I didn't think it was inappropriate at all.
Also, by the way, that baby is fine. I want to eat his little legs, his cute little chubby. He was really it made my day yesterday, guys. It made my day.
I'll break off a leg for Gwen and a wing for baby woman Sarah Huron. And while you have your wing, a baby Rihanna. What made you go whoa this week?
Honestly, so many things. And I need to give quick shout outs to one, Savannah Chrisley revealing that her father, Todd, has already gone gray in prison and that she's shook by it. I just want us all to picture Todd Chrisley with gray hair. It honestly might suit him.
Yeah, and his blonde was pretty close to gray already.
Right, but it was so artificial that like I'd be curious to see. So maybe one of these days we'll, get a photo leaked from prison with Todd Chrisley since he doesn't get out for like another decade. But Todd is gray. Heather Ray Young and / El Muso and Tarek announced their baby name exclusively with Us Weekly. And I was shooketh to find out it's simply Tristan J. I was expecting like, I don't know, a name that I wouldn't be able to pronounce.
Farana.
Right. So shout out. That's a great name, Tristan J. It's a family name. It's a cute name. Love it. But my real woe of the week was one of my queens, Kelsey Ballerini. I don't know how familiar you guys are with her, but I love her. And I
feel like Gwen and I just know her from being really great on country red carpets because she is.
She's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Yes. And she was married to another country star who's not nearly as famous as her, named Morgan Evans. And they filed for divorce over the summer after nearly 5 years of marriage. He's a little bit older than her. They never had kids. They got married when she was like 23. She's about to be 29. So it kind of makes sense. But he then released this song called Over For You. And it's like this emotional ballad that he played live that like went viral on TikTok. And it was like, poor Morgan Evans, because when did Kelsey blindsided me? When was it over for you? Because I was still ready to travel the world and be wherever you wanted me to be. BS. So he went out for the song and everybody was like, oh my God, justice for Morgan Evans. Like Kelsey Ballerini broke his heart. So now Kelsey Ballerini on Valentine's Day, like the true queen she is, pulled a Taylor Swift and dropped a 20-minute short album. It's giving All Too Well 10 minutes version. It's 6 songs where she goes from getting married and wanting to be a wife, but she knows she was so young, to how quickly they turned into like long distance roommates and how they were in therapy and how she, they had fights all the time, how they broke up more than once, how this wasn't a blindside. She's literally saying, were you blindsided or were you just blind? Which I just find a beautiful lyric. She called him out for her parents got divorced when she was young and she took it very hard. She wrote about it in her poetry book and has written about it in other songs. And she wrote a lyric like, you said we were going to end up like my parents, like threw that in her face. Like she just went for him and I love it. And the music is really good. It's not even that country. It's just like flawless and the lyrics are beautiful. And take that, Morgan Evans, because I didn't believe your Cry Me a River BS anyway.
Well, screw you, Morgan Evans, and good for you, Kelsey. I got from that.
Yes.
Great.
Morgan Evans not invited on the pod. Kelsey Ballerini always invited on the pod.
Great. Would love to have you, Kelsey. Well, my woe of the week came from, I liked it when it was Regis and, Kathy. And then we have Regis and Kelly, and now Ryan and Kelly, and now Kelly and Mark Consuelos. They are, that was announced today that Ryan Seacrest is leaving the show after 6 years. He was supposed to be on for 3, went for 6. Ryan and Kelly, it is still on live in all capital letters, so make sure you say it like that. And now her husband will be taking Ryan's spot. Mark Consuelos has filled in a bunch for Ryan. Obviously, they have great chemistry since they've been married for so many years and have kids in college. So, I think it's sort of adorable that he's hosting the show. It would have been nice sort of to have like 2 women in that slot, but if it's going to be anyone, it might as well be her, hot soap opera lover husband.
Hot take. I don't watch Live with Kelly at all, just because I'm working at 9 a.m. typically. But
GMA3 only.
I prefer GMA3 at 1 p.m. Because they are my messy queens. I miss you, Amy and TJ. Please, keep stepping out. I can't live without you. But one, I think it makes sense because clearly people who watch Live does so well in the ratings, and that means people love Kelly, obviously, and Mark is on all the time, so they love Mark and Kelly together. I just think it's interesting that to be jaded or to be sarcastic, they had to, now hire her husband because this is like her 3rd co-host in a minute. But maybe I'm just a mean person.
The longevity of her going through 3 different co-hosts is sort of amazing just in itself.
But
she's America's sweetheart, guys. Kelly Ripa is America's sweetheart. And I think that the viewers would be very upset if they moved her away from the show. So I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like the way when Real Housewives of New Jersey brought in this whole family dynamic thing. You know, this is like a new dynamic between morning show hosts. They are a married couple. They've got grown children. Like, I don't know, could be interesting. Could be interesting.
And
could be relatable for a lot of people.
I don't wish, I think they're a very solid couple. As we know, they've been together since 1996. That's when they got married. But like, if anything ever did go wrong, imagine the morning show storylines in that sense.
Sarah would be tuning in then.
I mean, ABC just keep giving me these messy people and I will be there. But no, I'm sure it's going to be more like stories about Lola walking in on them having sex, because that happens like at least once a year anyway when he's just co-hosting. So
yeah, there's been a lot of stories about that. Like at least
clearly
two or three.
Still hot for each other.
Oh my God. Well, great transition, because speaking of hot for each other, I want to talk about Emily Radachowski and her new boo, Eric Andre. Now, I remember Eric Andre from Two Broke Girls. I sort of was a fan of that show. I was one of, I think, the 6 people who was a fan of that show. How do you guys know Eric Andre? I've loved asking people this question. He's a comedian. He's an actor. But do you know him from?
I didn't know who he was until Emrata was kissing him a couple weeks ago, and now I've seen him naked thanks to this new relationship. So
okay, excellent. Well, then he's fresh on the scene, and yes, he is naked. They have been spotted at everybody's favorite relationship debut moment courtside at a sports basketball game in New York. They went to the Cayman Islands 3 weeks ago, and on Valentine's Day, he posted a nude photo of himself with the little Cupid arrow heart covering, his bits and bobbles, with Emily Radachowski also taking a nude selfie in the mirror, a very meta moment, a very naked moment for them. But he's a comedian, he's an actor. Apparently we know him from very, very little, but I mean, he and Emily Radachowski, a source tells us that they're not exclusive and they're having fun, as all of Emily Rada keeps it casual ever since her divorce. But I mean, they seem really exciting, and I'm glad that you know who Eric Andre is now, both of you, because apparently he was not a household name before this nude selfie.
No, he wasn't. But congrats. I mean, Emrata, her taste has always been a little off with that husband. And then, she moved on with Pete Davidson. Now she's with this guy. Makes sense.
She likes to laugh.
Yes, don't we all?
She likes to laugh. Well, they're a little more serious topic that was a little weird and was almost my woe of the week. Alec Baldwin is going back to work on the Rust set. Yes, we all remember Rust, the indie Western, which is already infamous before it has been released because of the tragic death of Halyna Hutchins, who was shot and killed by a prop gun fired by Alec. We all remember this tragic, tragic story. But now the film's producers confirmed on Tuesday that they will be back filming a spring start date to resume productions. Now, the original crew members are returning. The director is returning. Some of them are looking at manslaughter charges. And Helena's salary will be donated, to her family. They seem to be, they've included her family coming on as executive producers to help finish the film, which was nice. Her husband, Matthew, will serve as an executive producer as well. So it seems like they're really trying to honor her memory. But I never thought Rust was going to be going back in production. So I still think, even though they're doing all these great things to remember and, pay her family and have her family involved, it's still a little wild to me that they're going back to the Rust house.
Yeah, I think we said this at the time, and I'll say it again. There's just no need for this film. It's going to be weird enough to I don't know, at any sort of trailer, you see any character holding a gun in this movie, and you're immediately going to be taken out of the fictional world of this film. So I know it would be a lot of money lost, but maybe the money that you're all going to have to spend on lawyers, you just focus on that and call this a day. Because who the hell is going to see this movie? They say all press is good press, but I don't think this falls in that category.
I don't either, especially when it's the lead character who's done it, and you see the trailer and it's a Western and there's so much gun violence where gun violence happened on set. I mean, I'm already uncomfortable and the teaser is not out. Well, I know Gwen will have something to say about this because celebrity tattoo couples are not her favorite thing. Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez just got matching tattoos for their first Valentine's Day as husband and wife. Yeah, producer, can we get an awe track? Maybe. Okay. Let's see if he does it. Jennifer Lopez took a selfie of her rib cage, which had the infinity sign stamped with Jennifer and Ben, while Ben Affleck's tattoo had two arrows crisscrossed with the letters J and B. Now, J-Lo posted a loved up photo of them, including like a little carousel, including one that's a scene from the Jenny from the Block music video. I mean, that really has given so much since 2002 of him caressing her butt. And she said, commitment, happy Valentine's Day, my love. Hashtag commitment is sexy. Hashtag this is us then. Hashtag this is us now. Hashtag this is me now. Now, of course, this is on the heels of Ben Affleck looking wildly miserable at every single event they have gone to. But a source close to the couple tells us that they think that the backlash is really funny, that Ben was not miserable there and was a little bit tired, but it's not like there's trouble in paradise or he hates his life and is trapped and is asking for help. What do you guys think about this?
Here's what I think, and I've said it before, and I will say it again. It is never a great situation to ink your love on your body because we've seen over and over again when people have to get corrective work to their tattoos. I don't know. I mean, I kind of found it interesting that she got an infinity sign after their whole history. It's kind of interesting. Like, I don't know if I would have gone that far with an infinity sign.
Maybe a little gap out of it.
I love the two arrows. I thought the arrows were really cute. I think initials is always a safer way to go than a full name. I also thought, and you guys tell me what you think, but J-Lo's, that tattoo was sizable. Like that was not a little shrinking.
Yeah, I was surprised at the size.
I find the timing interesting. I think it's a big statement at a time when everyone is kind of speculating about what's happening with them. And I don't know. You know what I always say? Smoke, salmon.
I totally agree, Gwen. I think the timing is everything here. I know it's Valentine's Day, but it's, everyone has been talking about these two for the last couple of weeks because of the videos from the Shotgun Wedding premiere, because of the Grammy pictures, just in general, that it's about that time. They've been married for like a little less than a year. We're all like, all right, waiting for the shoe to drop. But I also I've said this a million times about these two, but I'll say it again because this post I feel like represents what I'm saying even more so. Like she is so public about everything. Like I laugh thinking about her making Ben post for the photo of his tattoo so she can post it on Instagram to hashtag her album cover, her album title. This is me then, this is me now, whatever, we get it. You wrote an album 20 years ago when you were with Ben. Now you're writing another album about Ben. Everything is so produced for Instagram and the newsletter. And he, as we saw for all this time, tries actively to be more of like the movie star that's aloof and not on Instagram and not at the Grammys for no reason. A producer, right? Like wants to talk about his work. And it's just interesting that she, they got these tattoos, which are show-offy, to post them on Instagram with the hashtag for the album. What does Jennifer Gardner think? I just need to know. I need her to give us one of those Vanity Fair cover stories like she did when they broke up a decade ago with her thoughts. I'm sure she'd take the high road because she's a queen. But it does remind me that I did watch Shotgun Wedding, everyone.
Oh, please.
And while it was truly insane, and they clearly didn't change the script when they decided to replace Josh Duhamel or Armie Hammer with Josh Duhamel, since Jennifer Coolidge was playing Josh Duhamel's mother. Which Jennifer Coolidge was the best part. She was honestly hilarious. No surprise. But they have
and what is she, like 6 years older than he is?
61 and he's like 50 something. So insane. Even Armie Hammer would have been ridiculous, to be quite honest, but Hollywood, whatever. So they didn't change the script for that reason, which is hilarious. But she was funny. Honestly, it was insane, but very enjoyable. Whereas Your Place or Mine was maybe the worst movie I've quite literally ever seen. And I love bad movies. I watch Hallmark Channel every Christmas, everyone. Your Place or Mine was so bad. Reese Witherspoon, who I truly love, I think forgot how to act. The script was painful. We could do better. It wasn't funny. There was no chemistry. I think the photos on the carpet, like, honestly, are serving them good because we're going to remember that and not remember how absolutely trash this movie was. And you can quote me on that. I'm sorry.
Guys, if you want to watch a silly little movie that is really good. The People We Hate at the Wedding.
Oh, what's that?
Starring Kristen Bell, Ben Platt. It's really funny.
That sounds like something I would enjoy.
Yeah.
And if you want a movie that's like actually bad, but you want to enjoy it, watch Shotgun Wedding. If you want a movie that's going to make you want to rip your hair out and wonder how Ashton Kutcher, who barely makes movies, read the script and said, this is the one I want to do, watch Your Place or Mine.
Yeah, they must have
Shotgun Wedding. The makeup and the dress get better and better as the craziness goes on.
Right. Like when she's like in distress.
The wedding dress gets like ripped apart and then is suddenly like the most perfect two-piece situation you would ever want to wear. Like, I'm like, where do I find that dress?
No, you're so true. And honestly, Josh Duhamel can get it still. He's so hot and they totally had chemistry. And like Ashton Kutcher is still hot, but like him and Reese Witherspoon, that scene at the end where they were supposed to like be the big romantic comedy moment was like truly laughable.
Oh my God. Well, I love our quick movie review.
Sorry,
I'm going to take all of this.
This is now a movie podcast.
That is great.
I'm an AMC Stubbs member, so I'm qualified to give these movie reviews for movies that went out straight to streaming.
Well, heartbreak feels good in a place like this, doesn't it, Sarah?
Right.
Just like Nicole Kidman said. Well, Olivia Wilde is dating again. And she's also calling Rihanna's husband, A$AP Rocky, hot on her Instagram story. And she tagged Rihanna before deleting the post a few hours later. I get why, she said he's hot. She tagged his wife. It seemed respectful, but everybody online like really dragged her for calling Rihanna's husband, A$AP Rocky, hot. And Olivia Wilde posted,
Are they married?
Oh no, sorry, baby daddy and love of her life. They're not married. Olivia Wilde said, if I thought he was hot before, this really put me over the edge, she said, while tagging
it was
Rihanna.
like a video of him watching Rihanna perform.
Yeah, and she addressed people and got it twisted. She says, you guys all have it twisted. It's hot to respect your partner, especially when your partner did that, she said. It seemed like a stretch and like a little strange that she was like, I love this couple supporting other couple, especially she's going through one of the most like high profile breakups in the world. And Life and Style is reporting that she's with a quote normal guy by Hollywood standards and casually dating a typical average Joe.
Shade at this man. No, listen, Olivia Wilde, like obviously this is an innocent comment. I'm not saying she's trying to come for A$AP Rocky, but like, and whether it's true or not, you are known a little bit for leaving Jason Sudeikis for Harry Styles and potentially like stirring the pot on the set of Don't Worry, Darling. So maybe don't make a play, even in a funny, silly way, at someone who's very publicly in a relationship with someone else when people assume that about you. And when there's posts about the salad dressing and when you're being sued by your nanny who's claiming that she was fired for like mental health reasons and has these damning court documents saying that like she was put in the middle of Jason and Olivia's very, very messy relationship and that Jason Sudeikis made her stay up at night listening to him cry about Olivia. Like they have a messy social life, these two, that like people I don't think saw coming 3 years ago and it's imploded. So maybe don't like low key, even though you're kidding, hit on guys that are in a relationship with someone else because it's kind of just like a weird look.
Was Sarah Heron coming for Olivia Wilde? And she is right. Right.
I read the court docs. That house did not seem fun to work in. I think I'm team nanny, even though I'm pretty sure they were pissed that she like blew up some of their dirty laundry, which isn't great, but like it sounded miserable to be in that place. And they really did seem to put her in the middle.
I agree.
Wow.
Well, I was going to do, instead of woes this week, I was going to do Super Bowls, but I'm really glad I didn't now saying it out loud because it sounds very awkward. But if I had to pick a woe from the Super Bowl, it would be Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly's drama that happened over the weekend. Now, I'm sure instead of watching the pre-Super Bowl coverage, you were watching Megan Fox's Instagram as she wiped her Instagram of Machine Gun Kelly and then she deleted all of her social medias with him, and then she just deleted her Instagram, but not before really causing some fires before she went out. She wrote in a caption after posting a very sexy, sort of revenge-looking posts, like black dress cutouts, like the one, it's the Princess Diana revenge vibe, but in Megan Fox fashion. She says, "You can taste the dishonesty. It's all over your breath," which are lyrics from Beyonce's 2016 track about Jay-Z's affair. And then one fan posted, "He's probably got with Sophie." Sophie is Machine Gun Kelly's guitar player that's been on tour with him, Sophie Lloyd. And then Megan Fox hit back and said, "Maybe I got with Sophie," fire emoji. And a source tells us that Megan and MGK got into a fight over the weekend, and they are now very upset with each other, and they were no longer speaking to each other at the time. But now photos have been obtained by the Daily Mail. Both of them looking wildly upset after leaving a marriage counseling office in LA on Monday. So it seems like they're trying to work with it. She posts a "You cheated on me" caption from Beyonce's Cheating album. Sophie Lloyd, the guitarist, gave us a statement from her management, and she said, "Any suggestion that Sophie, has acted in an unprofessional manner or stepped out of her relationship are untrue. It's disrespectful of her as a female artist and poor journalism and social commentary to be reporting anything else."
So maybe Megan Fox shouldn't have responded to a comment that said, "Did he get with Sophie?" Otherwise, we wouldn't even know who Sophie was.
Yeah. She really pulled Sophie into this.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
And I'm sure these two have a really dysfunctional relationship, and they probably did break up, and they probably are now trying not to break up and have probably like a not so great, relationship. And she, it's kind of interesting because Megan Fox has come for Brian Austin Green in the past for being messy on social media, but now she's being messy on social media. And I guess stars are just like us and lose their minds sometimes and post cryptic Instagram captions and then get mad when we read into them.
But do you think that celebs who are in these very public relationships kind of get into it for entertainment and attention? Why? Why, when you are so visible, why do you have to let it play out for everyone to see?
Well, I think that she was just trying to hurt him and
right.
to
and
punch
emotional.
him emotional, and to punch him in the public eye is sort of stronger than the just screaming at him in private.
Right.
I don't think she was doing it for attention. I do believe that he did, or she thought that he cheated, and she sort of wanted to hit him where it hurts on the social medias, just so he has to see all of these replies for people on all the meds. Wanted to feed him some meds and get all of her fans, all of their shippers to sort of come down on him for her. But I was really surprised that they went through all of this now. And when in the photos that, they're leaving marriage counseling, she is wiping tears away from her eyes. He's looked upset all Super Bowl weekend long. And it's,
I loved him for a while, and I still do love his music. I really do. I think he, and I enjoyed his concert, but he, I think I might have been clouded a little bit with the COVID of it all. I had this realization also with John B from Outer Banks when I was watching the screeners for season 3 of Outer Banks, which is as insane as ever, but quite enjoyable for a one-day binge.
It really is.
If you're hungover on the couch. Yeah, it really got me through the weekend. But I was looking at Chase Stokes, who, by the way, is potentially dating Kelsey Ballerini, to come full circle. And he's obviously
I definitely think they're dating.
I do too. And I love that for them. And I definitely think he's a good looking dude, but he had a hold on me. I bought merch that said I would die for John B. Who was she? And I also was trying to sacrifice myself for Machine Gun Kelly. 2020 Sarah had problems, and 2023 Sarah is just kind of realizing that. So to everyone who's been on this journey with me on this podcast, thank you. I'm sorry, but also not. And that's what I have to say about this.
So who are you shipping for yourself now in 2023, Sarah, if it's not these problematic guys?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm sure plenty. I have to think about it. There was someone who I kept calling my guy after watching the other day, but I can't remember who it was. I don't know. But those two are not on my priority list anymore. I will always love MGK's music, but I think I have to let that go as a love of mine.
That's really sad.
And I think that him and Megan Fox are going to break up for good before they get married, but we'll see.
I absolutely do. Well, Sarah, since you're going through this, I really want to give you a little something for sharing. And I want to talk about Tori Spelling and Dean
Oh,
because I know you want to talk about it.
yes.
Now, yes, there has been a long time speculation that their relationship was on the rocks. We had source info that they were living apart. I mean, Sarah, can you give us a background of all of the bad leading up to this? Because they were seen this week looking amazing for the paparazzi, maybe for each other, I'm not sure, at New Date Trattoria in Angoria Hills. They shared a bottle of wine. She had this great dress on. He looks great. They were packing on the PDA. They seemingly went back to the same house together and are doing really, really well. What are your thoughts as maybe the biggest Tori and Dean fan, at least in my circle, but possibly the world?
Okay, biggest Tori fan.
Tori fan.
Don't put Dean on me. No, I'm just kidding. Obviously Tori and Dean the last couple of years, I mean, forever have had a tumultuous relationship, but in the last couple of years, she took wife out of her Instagram bio. She revealed that they weren't sleeping in the same bed. He was traveling. He was missing from the Christmas card. This year he was back in the Christmas card. And I think that we had seen pictures of her outside of a lawyer's office with the word custody written on it. And I think these paparazzi photos are, their way of, they never like officially addressed it. Dean would like clap back at people sometimes asking very like valid questions about what the hell was going on. And now they're, the narrative is they're happier than ever. And, their wedding anniversary, I think it's sometime in the spring, maybe May, and she skipped posting for a couple of years. So maybe this year we'll get one of those. I see
the countdown clock on your wall.
Right. Yes. It's all happening. I have it
Tori and
memorized.
Dean's wedding anniversary.
I know they got married in Fiji because like, who doesn't know that? Let's see what the wedding date was. It was May 7th. Wow. I actually knew it was May. That's my half birthday. Anyway, so we'll see if they post, the big wedding anniversary, because she has skipped the last two, which was a little bit of other confirmation when she used to be very all over the place, but now they're making out on the street or grabbing each other. I kind of think that it's just easier for them to be married. They have had money issues and they have a lot of kids to whatever. I'm always just rooting for the best for Tori. You know that. The way I root for Britney too, but like how you're hardcore for Britney, I want the best for Tori Spelling.
This, Sarah, was a bait and switch because I do want to talk about that, but I mainly want to talk about her and Denise Richards. So she was talking to The Sun and she was talking about Denise Richards, and she admitted to spending $400 in 2 days to subscribe to Denise Richards' OnlyFans account. Tori said, I've been friends with her for years and I was just kind of fascinated by the whole OnlyFans. And I'm not going to lie, I was like, let me check it out. What does this entail? She said on Jeff Lewis Live last month. She said, so I looked at it, of course, and it shows something like you can't subscribe unless you get it. So of course I've subscribed under a fake name. She said she just wanted to see the content. She says it's riveting because, hey, we might show you in the shower. And I just wanted to see, it's my friend. Like, how far is she going to go? They say, allegedly, if you tip them, that they get back to you faster. So I was like, hey, love, what am I seeing? Would love to see some more. And in 2 days, I ended up spending $400 and I couldn't stop. It's just amazing to me that Tori Spelling was trying to support, her friends' like nudity career, but also was like tipping her a bunch of money to try to get her to respond to her on her OnlyFans account. Queen behavior. I just like to see it.
Yeah. I mean, if you know Tori Spelling at all, she doesn't know how to spend her money appropriately. And this totally checks out. Also that she like loves sex and is like very sexual. So this is actually very classic Tori Spelling. I saw Denise Richards was on Jeff Lewis, which was where Tori said this, and said that she would have just sent her the photos if she asked. So,
oh, that's nice. Gwen, would you subscribe to your friends' OnlyFans just to see what was going on and then tip them to get them to respond to you?
I probably would because I'm a creeper like that. I just like to know everything that's going on. So, what's your OnlyFans account? What is it?
It is Playful Llama Alpaca, and it's just me running naked with farm animals. It's a very niche market. There is nothing hardcore. It's very soft and has a Paris filter over everything. So please make it rain. Send me some tips. Well, that is all of the news we have today. Go check out our OnlyFans, check out our website, check out our magazine, check us all out. And thank you, my hosts, Sarah and Gwen, for helping me spill this piping hot celebrity this week. Again, this is Travis Cronin, Us Weekly's Hot Hollywood podcast, with your weekly peek into the glamour, glitter, fashion, fame of your favorite celebrities. Because after all, they're all on OnlyFans.
Like
us. Yes, that's right. Just
Unhinged on Instagram.
Unhinged on Instagram. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Bye.